Work. Okay, finally got the video working. Again, we're going over the copyright laws in the United States, and they may vary state by state, but I'm pretty sure it's federal, and they don't. So, this is Title 17 United States Code, Section 501 and 506, which states unauthorized copying is against the law. Now, if you remember back in the old days how vehicles had cassette players, you'd also notice they have a record button, and that record button was so that you could record your favorite song off the radio, and that was completely illegal. And well, that was completely illegal then, but it is not legal now. If you also remember, during the time of cassette tapes, you also had mixtapes, in where you can make a mix of, say, several different songs, and everybody was okay with that. But now that we've gone to CDs, if you've noticed, it's against the law. And again, that's Title 17 United States Code Sections 501 and 506, which state copyright laws protect the creative work value. When you make unauthorized copies of someone's creative work, you are taking something of value from the owner without his or her permission. And I'm going to put a little asterisk by that because we're going to get back to that in a minute. FBI warnings, blah, 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 blah. Now, I'm going to skip down to, remember the asterisk I put there, as in most likely, you're taking the value without his or her permission. That little asterisk there. Common examples of online copyright infringement. You make an MP3 copy of a song because the CD you bought, now keep in mind you already paid for the CD. So you made a copy of the song on that CD because the CD says you have the permission to do so, which goes back to that little asterisk, without his or her permission. But you have his or her permission. But even though you have their permission, it then says you put that MP3 copy on the internet or send it to your friend. Okay, so remember the mixtape I mentioned earlier? That is no longer allowed. So it says even though you bought the CD and you're just making a copy for your friend, it's now infringement. And I'm not sure what the penalty for that is, but I believe, and this covers peer-to-peer, but the fine for sharing that song, first-time offenders, maybe 5 years in prison, and $250,000 in fines. Now what that means is it's not one particular fine that you're paying a lump sum in, it's several different fines, such as sharing music without his or her permission of the person who either directed the music or whatever, any of that stuff. But going back, without the owner's permission is a violation of the law. But then contradiction shows that even if you do, you still don't have any rights to do anything with the music aside listen to it. Even though you listen to it for free on the radio, and so can your friend, if it's played, you still can't share it because somehow that's against the law. Even if you don't illegally offer recordings to others, still illegal. So, you do the crime, you do the time. In summary, I mentioned the blah blah 5 years in prison. That seems a little excessive. Or you can be sued for up to $150,000 in statutory damages for each of their copyrighted works that you illegally copy or distribute. Now, to break that down for you, say you have a song with 8 different tracks. Okay, so you send a copy of that. Now, he can sue you for each song, as opposed to all the songs together for $150,000. He can sue you for each song because it is different. So, what the courts have to say, as stated by the record company plaintiffs in their belief, Aimster predicts its entire services upon furnishing a roadmap for other users to find, copy, and distribute copyrighted music. We agree Defiance Aimster managed to do everything but actually steal the music off the store shelves. Now, stealing music off the shelf, let's reiterate this a little. If you're stealing the music, you probably shouldn't put it up on the radio for free, because if people are listening to it for free anyway, why would you pay to hear it again? And this just goes into images, software, and other things. And the last thing I'd like to cover with you is the law pertaining to texting while driving. And we're going to go over specifically California. And in a minute, okay. New law allows hands-free device. Here we go. Effective January 1st, 2009. Cellular laws effective July. Okay, well, that's weird. The law was effective before it was released. Anyway, see if I can find any details. The base fine for the first offense for texting while driving or even being on your cell phone, $20 to $50, with penalty assessments. So there could be some more there. But basically, the first law prohibits all drivers from using handheld wireless telephones while operating a motor vehicle. And I'm going to put an asterisk by that one as well, because we're going to come back to it after I mention a design flaw within a lot of vehicles. And then this is California Vehicle Code VC, that funny little symbol that you always see, 23123. Motorists 18 and over may use a hands-free device. The second law prohibits all drivers from texting while operating a motor vehicle. This is VC 23123.5. The third law, this is three laws I guess, prohibits drivers under the age of 18 from using wireless telephone or hands-free device while operating a motor vehicle. This is 23124. Now, and then it goes into petty little arguments, but basically what it's saying is you cannot be on the phone while driving. Now, I can tell you, from a military standpoint, we all did it. Yeah, my sergeant was always on the phone with our LT while driving. Whether we'd get in as much trouble, that's debatable. But going back to that little asterisk, if you'll remember, back in the old days when the high-end cars, I'm talking 50 years ago maybe, the cars had built-in telephones. And they called it car phones. Isn't that funny? It wasn't a problem back there, but times have changed, and I guess instead of being smarter than we were 50, 60 years ago, we're actually stupid enough to where we can't drive and talk on the phone. So in the same respect, we shouldn't even be talking to passengers in the car, because that's a distraction. If you have kids, that's a distraction. If you have the radio, that's a distraction. And I think someone was talking about making a law taking the radio out as well, because it's a distraction. So basically, if you text while driving, you get a ticket, but you're not smart enough to talk and drive at the same time. And I guess that's all I have for today. And it doesn't really go into details. This is California law again, in terms of wireless communications and device and telephone laws. Nothing else to report, nothing interesting. So I will talk to you guys later. Comments below. Alright, have a nice day. Bye.